You know that one of the motivating drives of humanity is self-preservation. I was thinking about this as I'm driving to work today. There's traffic all over the place, and everyone's just trying to, I guess, get to where they need to get to and make sure they get there alive. So I'm thinking about self-preservation, and it took me back to my days of education when I was in prison, and how, I guess, consumed I was with the Word of God and wanting to do the right thing, whether it was in my dorm or in the chaplaincy department. But there was always a certain group of men who were bent on not abiding by the scriptures, but rather doing their own thing, creating a sort of clique in the chapel department. If you were locked up with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it always blew my mind that we weren't, as a general rule, we weren't courageous enough to stand up in the face of a prison subculture. I wrote a book about this. It's called Shackling Jesus: How Christians in Prison Institutionalize God. And the whole concept of the book that I wrote is to highlight how stubborn we are in wanting to not let go of our ways. Christianity in prison a lot of times is just a religious gang, because people are just trying to survive in prison, right? Self-preservation. Think about that self-preserving drive that each one of us has, and kind of expand on that for a little bit. How you and I have a habit of wanting to preserve our beliefs, preserve our cultural heritage, preserve our cultural identity, whether we're brown, white, black, purple, green, or yellow. We're always trying to preserve our tribe, our clique. We're trying to preserve our brand. We're trying to preserve. See how that is? Now, self-preservation in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you think about Christianity, it goes right up against it. Because while we are stubbornly trying to preserve our brand, our tribe, our image, we're trying to preserve our politics, our identity, our culture, we're trying to preserve and promote these things, Jesus is telling us to crucify them. Jesus is telling us they need to die. This is why Christianity is so radical, so revolutionary, because it doesn't encourage you to preserve anything. It tells you to let it die. In fact, you and I can't be who Christ called us to be if we're too busy trying to hold on to a brand, an image, an identity, a heritage, whatever, man, an ideology. Self-preservation is ingrained within the human heart, but God has called us to take that preservation and give it to Him. He will preserve you. In fact, what we're supposed to be preserving isn't anything that resembles the world, but only those things that honor and glorify Him. So think about that next time you're bucking truth. Think about that next time you are wanting to hold so desperately and so dearly onto what you know and what's familiar and what's in proximity to your world. And ask yourself, is me preserving this promoting the gospel, or is it promoting me and what I want? God bless you guys. Have a good morning.